This is a reflection of how my 4 years at high school went, so here we go. So during my freshman year, we were getting used to getting around campus in order to get to classes, so we would always walk around campus during breaks, and we would do a lot of exploring, like this vandalized locker. But that time I really love walking around, old hallways because, you know, when hallways are old, it has a lot of characteristics in it. But yeah, we would walk around the hallways way too much, not knowing what we're doing, because it was pretty boring. But during that year, I also made some new friends, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. And yeah, this club thing going on really hyped things up. So yeah, what I thought about freshman year was that it was a very fun year. It was the time where I could, kind of adapt to, high school, make some new friends, and fool around with them. And it was very fun, and it's pretty unforgettable. So during my sophomore year, that year, there was construction going on. So the 500 hall was being renovated. So here is the inside look of it. And I was very interested in the construction, so that's why I made some videos of it. In addition, the 400 was going some very heavy renovation, converting 2 classrooms into 6 or 7. So yeah. I also made a very cringy vlog about a day in high school. So basically I would take you guys around, showing the classes that I go to, what I do in high school, and all that stuff. And this video, to be honest, it's pretty bad. So I think sophomore year was probably one of the most fun years that I've had in high school. First being that I had some really good teachers. My math teacher and my English teacher, they were really chill. They wouldn't give too much homework, but I would still manage to be able to understand the content that they're teaching. So I really like that. And they were very nice. They would have the interest to know more about myself, and I started to have that interest too. So sophomore year was a year that was also full of ups and downs, because that year a lot of stuff was going on and between other people and me. So yeah, but anyways, let's move on to my junior year. So during my junior year, I finally got to tour the newly opened 400 hall, and it looks way different than what it was before. And they also added a new elevator, and it was open to the public. And the inside actually looked pretty nice. So yeah, let's go check out the first floor. So pretty much the first floor does look like the second floor. Also being that they obviously did add a second floor to this building. But yeah, let's check out the outside. The outside definitely does look more modern-ish, I guess. But yeah. Weeks after I toured the 400 hall, everything's changed. COVID-19 outbreak becomes significant, schools were shut down, and we all had to stay home. We eventually had to adapt to the new custom of checking our emails and checking our Google Classroom, and that was the primary source of where the teachers would give out the assignments. So I would do everything at home at my own pace. But this is the time that I really started to lose my motivation from doing schoolwork, and yeah, I would start to procrastinate a lot. Additionally, it would force me to, become into a state of depression. So to keep myself company, I decided to start calling my friend every day. All right, so yeah, I know I didn't put that many clips for 11th grade, but you know, for pretty obvious reasons. During my year in 11th grade, the COVID-19 pandemic hit, and everything's changed. We had to adapt to this thing called distance learning. We all had to stay home, and we couldn't really see any of our friends in person anymore. And believe it or not, we cannot do that for pretty much a year. But I don't know about other people, but anyways, I think 11th grade was probably one of my uh, least favorite years because, um, you know, also being that, half the year was gone due to the pandemic, it was a year of pain because, you know, there's a lot of workload. My grades, I felt like I was kind of starting to slack off, so I really had to pick things up and yeah. And also that time I had to worry about the SAT because I, it was a time that I would have to take it, but luckily due to the pandemic, all the testing centers closed, so I was not able to take the SAT. And being that the colleges did not mandate SATs thereafter, so 11th grade was a year of big changes in terms of international situation. So yeah, 11th grade was, I guess, a fun year, but it was a pretty painful year in terms of academics. So yeah. All right. So now we are finally on to my senior year. So yeah, please enjoy. During my senior year, there's still a lot of restrictions in place due to the pandemic, so we still had to continue school via distance learning. However, we had some online classes, which kind of helped because, we could see some of the people again instead of just, talking to them via text when you can't actually see them. So, yeah, I think that made things only a little bit better, but not so much. After the classes, we would have to, do our independent work. And this is the time that I really, really lost my motivation, started procrastinating, and have the tendency to turn in homework pretty late. So I had a pretty bad habit of doing that, but yeah. And when it was November, this would come the time where I had to write a lot of college essays and, you know, submit the applications. So this is one of the most stressful times that I've ever had. Being that I had no motivation, but at the same time I had to, keep things up because, this is like a step to our future. So, yeah. So the first half of 12th grade was very painful. It is supposed to be like one of our last opportunities where we get to have our own fun, but unfortunately it got screwed up, but it is what it is. So to reconnect myself with some people, I decided to start doing Q&As with some of my friends, and I think it really helped because I got to hear their voices again. Finally got to return to school, but there was a lot of limitations. So here is the new health facility, and I was long waiting to see it. So here's me walking through the hallways, and there's been a lot of changes made, like the new social distancing signs and whatnot. So after weeks of in-person learning, it almost came the end of school, but for us as seniors, it was a big deal for us because we were exiting high school. So we had to do a graduation ceremony because this time it was in person. So I had to do some dressing up and yeah, a lot of things going on. I had to eat lunch pretty fast because it was graduation soon. By the way, this is one-ton noodle. I then had to get changed quickly, so yeah, here's the transformation. I then had to head to school for the graduation ceremony. So here's me waiting with other people for the ceremony. So here's the ceremony. It was alright. It wasn't too bad. And here's a selfie of me with all the things on there. And yeah, here's Cache Valley High School for one time. And I will not be coming back here ever again. So yeah, so long, Cache Valley High School. Well, I have to say that is it for high school. So now we are on to college, and yeah. So I don't think I really described too much of what in-person learning was like. So let me describe it right now. So I think in-person learning was a little bit weird because, well, it definitely is not the same as what it was during the pre-COVID days. Um, but during the in-person learning, there were very few students in the classroom. Um, some of the classrooms had cubicles, or some of the desks had cubicles on it, and some of the desks were crossed off, meaning that you cannot sit on it in order to maintain distance. So basically, the students were very spaced apart, and I know that some of them did not want to return to school, so not even half of the students are at school. So that's why very, very little amount of students were in the classroom, so it made things very awkward. So if for example, like if the teacher wants to like talk to us, then pretty much like every single person in the classroom is called on each day. So I don't know, it's very awkward. Yeah. Besides that, I think high school was definitely an adventurous journey. Thank you to those who helped me, supported me, and you know go along with me during this whole adventurous journey. Um, but one thing I have to say, it's over. Um, but I don't really miss it. But it was actually pretty fun. We had lots of ups and downs, and yeah, because I spent 4 years there, and it's been quite a long time. But now we're moving on, and yeah, doing other things now. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be it for my high school videos. I think my future videos will be, me doing some college vlogs, but we'll have to see about that. But anyways, with that being said, this will be it for high school. And with that being said, that will be it. Thank you for watching.